It is 10 a.m., so we will get started. So, good morning and thank you for joining us for this Policy Interested Parties meeting. I am Amelia Boyd and I am the Program Manager for the Medical Commission. This meeting is being recorded. The purpose of this meeting is to collaborate with interested parties such as the public, association members, physicians, and physician assistants regarding our policies, guidance documents, and interpretive statements. The documents which will be discussed here today are available on the policies meeting page on our website, which is wmc.wa.gov. Dr. Pam Kohlmeyer is the presenter for these meetings. Attendees, if you would like to ask a question or speak, please use the raise your hand function or the chat. When commenting, we request that you avoid, hold on just a second, we're having some feedback. When commenting, we request you avoid commenting on ongoing investigations or disciplinary cases. Please make sure your comments pertain to the agenda items. Are there any questions? So with that, I will hand it over to Dr. Kohlmeyer.
Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Pam Kohlmeyer. I am a staff attorney with the Medical Commission. And this interested parties group tends to be something new. I think this might be our second one that we've had, but the purpose is really to give the public, all of our stakeholders, a chance to weigh in on policies that are up for review or new policies. There are 3 documents that we're seeking feedback from today. They're listed on the agenda. And just as a reminder, we're only discussing these 3 agenda items, but we did add an open forum at the end. So if there are any other issues that you want the commission to be aware of, that's your opportunity to weigh in. So the first document is a guidance document. It's about medical records, documentation, access, retention, storage, disposal, and closing a practice. And this policy, guidance document, was adopted in January of 2020. So it's up for its 4-year review. And if you forward down in the packet, there are some kind of proposed draft changes. Mostly they are, shall we say, just to clean it up a bit as far as wording and whatnot. But there was some input from a patient safety group that had to do with a few recommendations that we did try to implement. So that's the only substantive change, really. But if anyone would like to weigh in, this would be the time.
Go ahead, Hillary.
Oh, hi, so good morning. Hillary Norris with the Washington State Medical Association. Thank you for the opportunity to comment. Just wanted to say we really appreciate WMC making these updates. They're one of the most frequently accessed documents that our members reach out to us about, so we appreciate having these. And just had one question of curiosity about a change removing the wording, which may vary by specialty in a few instances. And we were just curious why this was included initially and why it was being removed now. More just for our own clarification, though.
Would you like to weigh in as to what your opinion is about that?
Oh, I'm just sort of wondering where the change is coming from, if there's a reason um, why the specialty judgment piece was being removed, or if it was just kind of a general update.
Well, it's only in a draft form, so it hasn't happened yet. So if you would like to weigh in with an opinion, I'm open to hearing it.
No, I was just wondering why it was changed in the draft. It's really cool. Um, Is there a reason it was changed, or it was just a general language update?
It was kind of a general update, but I could say
Okay.
the the documentation is based on the standard of care, which does vary a bit by specialty and circumstances. But if you'd like us to look at the wording again, I'm happy to do it.
I don't think we really had any concerns about it. We were more just wondering for clarification, but I can bring it back and see if anyone does have questions.
That would be great.
Thanks.
Is there any other input on the medical records guidance document? Seeing none, I guess we could move on to the procedure. Wait for Amelia. There we go. So procedure, this is on compensation and reimbursement for commission duties. And this is up for its 4-year review. It was initially adopted January of 2016. In February of 2020, it underwent its first 4-year review. And as far as significant updates, I wouldn't say that there is much here on the first page other than since I work with Panel L, I thought, well, I'd specifically add some Panel L stuff. It was pretty much worded mostly from a disciplinary standpoint. And then on page 2, just adding some specifics about the timeliness of the need to submit reimbursement in a timely fashion. Otherwise, it might be denied. So any input on this procedure up for its 4-year review would be welcome at this time. I'll give it a couple more seconds just in case anyone's fumbling to find the right button. Just find the raise your hand function. Susan, did you want to say something? I see your videos on. Want to make sure you have the chance to speak if you want to.
You're on mute, Susan.
Sorry, I just logged in late, so I'm trying to figure out how to turn my camera off, so I'm just watching, but no, I don't want to speak right now.
Oh, that's fine. We just wanted to make sure you had the chance if you were trying.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right. Any other questions, concerns, or inputs about the procedure about compensation for the commissioners? All right. So moving on. Next will be the procedure processing complaints against medical students, residents, and fellows. This is a procedure that is up for 4-year review. It was initially adopted July of 2020, and I moved this one up just a couple of months because I thought, it's kind of the season, getting into the season of picking the residents and fellows, and it's nice to give them up-to-date guidance before they jump in on July 1st. So one significant change, and I am very thankful that we have the expertise of our WPHP folks and Dr. Chris Bundy in particular, who added, what about if there is a health concern or impairment type issue involving residents and fellows? And so that is a significant draft update that is on the last page of the document. And I don't know, Chris, I know you're on. If you want to say anything about that, feel free. And anyone else who wants to weigh in.
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to be a part of the process and to offer some language that Pamela and I both worked on. Made some adjustments along the way. I hope it meets with your approval, and certainly happy to discuss any items within that there might be questions about.
Thank you, Chris. I think it's a better document with this in there, and I really appreciate you bringing that to our attention. Does anyone want to weigh in about that or anything else in the document? Now is your time.
Go ahead, Hillary.
Oh, so again, thank you for the opportunity to comment. Just wanted to say that we have this draft language out to our members, and we're waiting for a response if they do have feedback. So we hope to get that back before the next meeting or discussion on this document. So thank you.
Thank you, Hillary. Anyone else? All right. Well, the part we've all been waiting for, the open forum. This is something brand new, and I'm going to turn it back to Amelia to give a little spiel about it.
Hold on, it'll take me 1 second. Okay. So yes, welcome to our first open forum. So this is a time where interested parties like you can share your thoughts and suggestions on the WMC's policies. We encourage everyone to participate and express their ideas respectfully. To ensure that all those who choose to participate have the opportunity to speak, please limit your comments to 2 minutes. If you have an idea for a policy or suggestions to reform an existing policy, please use the raise hand feature within the Teams application and you will be called upon when it's your turn to speak. When sharing, please remember the WMC regulates allopathic physicians or MDs and physician assistants. If you have an idea for a different profession, feel free to send it to the email address on the screen and we will forward it to the right place. If anyone would like to speak, feel free to raise your hand. It doesn't. Oh, go ahead, Hillary.
Hi, sorry. I feel like I'm talking a lot this meeting. Thank you again. And just wanted to ask about the EHR documentation updates. We've just been sort of discussing and noticed that there is already a lot of documentation requirements in state law for physicians, and they're often like burnt out doing work after hours and taking time from their families. Um, to fulfill these documentation requirements. So we were just wondering sort of what the utility was for including requirements of when or when not to document for the EHR record, because we noticed that it did say to avoid doing so during patient encounters. So we just sort of wanted to know what the rationale was for that, and if there's yeah, just to get some more insight as to why that was included.
So I could comment to that. The wording was not meant to convey that it shouldn't be done during a patient encounter. It's just to recognize, and I'm happy to look at the wording again to make it more clear that is one downside of it happening during a patient encounter, is that some patients feel more of a disconnect, and some providers do too. But it has become kind of almost a standard that that happens because of exactly what you said, that providers don't want to do, paperwork for 3 hours when they get home at night. And so it's just something to consider, but it's not that that is not acceptable. But I'm happy to relook at that wording if you want.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
I don't see any other hands raised. Oh, go ahead, Susan.
I have just found out about your meeting today. I'm not on your board or in the medical profession. I'm a citizen of Washington State. Is this something that happens at all of your meetings, this open forum at the end of every meeting?
No, this is the first time we're actually doing this. We always have a public comment period, but this is the first time we're doing an actual open forum where we hear ideas. We do have 4 business meetings a year, and we do have a public comment period during that time. But that public comment period, there's no like interaction with the commissioners or anything like that. They don't answer questions or respond. They just take the comments into consideration. And then when we have our policy committee meetings, we don't have an open forum there, but we do encourage folks to come to those meetings and speak and give their suggestions and opinions about the policies and procedures and interpretive statements that we're considering at that particular time. But no, this is the first open forum we've had.
Okay, well, as a citizen, I want to say it's amazing, and I think it's great to give us the opportunity to interact with you. And I will be looking further into how to stay on top of what's going on. I am a chronic pain patient that has been on long-term opiates, so I have a lot of concerns about that, especially within my own state. And so I will be interested to watch how this all goes forward, and thank you for letting us participate.
Thank you for attending. Go ahead, Micah.
Hi, this is actually for Susan. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that there is a group that that the Washington Patients for Intractable Pain. I'm hoping you're at least engaged with them. If you need an email to get in contact with them, we can certainly refer you over, because chronic pain patients are certainly ones that we've had direct dealings with, both in trying to solve some issues as well as developing our rules packages over the past several years. So if you need a referral to them, please let me know.
Yes, please. I would love a referral to them.
All right, I will put an email in the chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Micah. Would anyone else like to speak?
Can I make one comment? If anyone wants to have a kind of a clean version of some of these draft updates of the 3 documents we talked about, I can put my email in the chat. I'd be happy to send you one. With some of the draft updates, it gets so hard to see what's what with so much red ink that if that's helpful, I'm very happy to do that.
Thank you, Pam. There are no other hands raised. So yeah, that name that Micah dropped in there. Rose is I think she's the co-president.
Yes, co-chair.
Co-chair of the Washington Patients and Intractable Pain. And Rose and Cynthia, who's the other co-chair, were instrumental when we redid the rules in 2017 for opioid prescribing. So they are an excellent resource. All right. Well, it looks like we have no other hands raised, no other comments. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And we do have future meetings already scheduled for the rest of this year for this particular meeting, the policy committee meeting. I believe the next one is on the April 11th. And then we have a business meeting where decisions will be made on these documents on April the 26th. All of these meetings are virtual and you can attend virtually. So the registration information is on our event calendar on our website. And then if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or Pam. Thank you, Micah. And we will get back to you as soon as we can. And thank you everyone for participating today.
Thank you.